We also want to bring in our fellow White House correspondent, Geoff Bennett. He is over in the White House briefing room this morning. Geoff, good morning.
Good morning, Hallie.
So, Kelly, let me start with you here. You talked about that shutdown, stalemate, that standoff. What needs to happen, do you think, in order for there to be some kind of a breakthrough for all these government workers?
Well, everyone is saying once Nancy Pelosi secures the speakership, it's a new day for negotiation. Her top aides say they will pass something quickly. Democrats will get a bill through that funds the government, but not the president's wall. That sort of resets negotiations. And what I think we'll likely see is both parties have to come to some new way to define success. For the president, already signaling less than $5 billion would be acceptable to him. Can Democrats give him some border security funding? And of course, the next big date to watch, when federal workers don't get the next paycheck for these days they're not being paid right now. That's January 11th. So we've got some time to go here, but there are some pressure points to watch.
Yeah, that's for sure. Let me pull back with both of you for a second. When I'm not here filling in for Willie on Sundays, I'm with both of you at the White House, of course, covering everything related to President Trump and this administration. So given that we've all been on the front lines of some of these huge stories, Geoff, when you look back on 2018, what do you think was perhaps the most pivotal one that we covered?
Well, Hallie, every day in the life of the Trump White House can feel consequential, as you all both know. But I think a pivotal moment that changed Trump's approach to the presidency was the confirmation process for Brett Kavanaugh. This might seem like ancient history now, but there was a moment after Dr. Christine Blasey Ford came forward with her accusation that you had lots of people in President Trump's ear urging him to ditch Kavanaugh as his Supreme Court pick. But the president didn't do that. In fact, he dug in and he went a step further. He attacked Dr. Ford. He undercut her credibility. That was a controversial move that many people say left a permanent scar on the country. But in that moment, the president trusted his gut. He trusted his instincts over the advice of lots of top White House staffers, aides, and allies. And he emerged from that, I'm told, feeling vindicated. And since then, we've seen the president dispense with outside advice and really sort of govern from the gut. Hallie?
Yeah, that Kavanaugh confirmation, probably one of the biggest stories of the year, Geoff. Kelly, same question to you. When you look back on 2018, what stands out? I think of some of the international trips, for example, that we took together.
I think when you look at the president's desire for the big moment, that would certainly take us to Singapore and the summit with Kim Jong-un. But the question is, how much was really accomplished? Yes, it was historic. Yes, it sort of reset the order. It opened sort of a new way of looking at a long entrenched problem. But we are still trying to measure what was accomplished. That's something that I think in 2019 we'll still be following, as the president says he wants to meet again. But we also saw the big moment in Helsinki when we were all together there for the meeting with Vladimir Putin. Some thought it would be sort of a reset amid all of the Robert Mueller special counsel Russia investigation. In fact, it upended that a bit, and the president appeared to be more willing to buck what people wanted him to do, and left a lot of people wondering about his relationship with Russia and with a strong man like Vladimir Putin. So those are big memories for me.
Yeah, that's for sure. So we haven't made our 2019 memories yet, but as you look ahead into the new year, what do you think is going to end up dominating the headlines, you know, when we're at this point next year looking back?
Well, these first 2 years, the president's been trying to learn how to govern. That's been certainly something where he's had a lot of criticism, but he's done it with Republicans all around him. Now he has an ever-present Democratic rival who has real power in Nancy Pelosi as the presumed speaker, and certainly Chuck Schumer, who controls enough votes in the Senate to determine what, if anything, gets done. So the president, who seems to feel most comfortable when he has a defined adversary, now clearly has one. If you thought Washington had been rough and chaotic these first 2 years, this will be a president who will be in fight mode as he prepares for his own re-election bid or the outcome of the Mueller investigation.
Right.
So we will see that pairing of Trump and Pelosi vividly in 2019.
And Geoff, quickly here, that pairing that Kelly's talking about, oversight is going to be a part of it too, with Democrats in the House looking to investigate different pieces of this Trump administration.
They want to investigate everything from Trump's hidden tax returns to potential conflicts of interest between his business and the government. So, yeah, we'll have to see what comes of it. I can tell you, though, that the office that would normally handle that, the White House counsel's office, is understaffed and unprepared, in part because the team that has just started working, they started working about 2 or 3 weeks ago, Hallie. So that's certainly something we're going to be keeping an eye on as 2019 rolls on.
Geoff and Kelly, it's great to have the conversation we'd be having in our White House office together here on TV. Good to see you both. Happy New Year. And make sure to catch a special edition of Meet the Press later this morning when Chuck Todd takes on the climate crisis. His guests include former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg and outgoing California Governor Jerry Brown.